Danny, who was kind enough to join us last minute to share on the topic of growing together through empathy.
I am Danny. Think I'm clean. I'm here by God's grace, God's mercy. The word God bothers you, I don't apologize. Growing together through empathy. The Me Too process. Listen, I'm a happy member, and I'm happy to be a part of this event. And the whole deal is answering the call, and I'm happy to respond to a cry for help. And because the fellowship responded to my cry for help. And my two favorite words here are Me Too. I'm talking about the ability to understand and identify what the hell is about to happen because I didn't expect to have a spiritual awakening or whatever it may be. I understand how the program works. I'm clean a little while and it does not impress me. There's still work to be done. I can tell my story and not cry and not get choked up and not get a crackly voice and know that I've healed in so many different places because of this place. Because I'm coming here and I'm able to say, me too. I think a Living Clean book talks about empathy is not an emotional attack of violence. Just because I say me too, I don't use comparison. I'm not in competition with anyone. Narcotics Anonymous is not an event for sport sharing. I know how to sound good here. This is not about sounding good. It's about freeing myself. How free do I want to really be? I would still want to be free. I don't want to be sick anymore, but that's not a promise here. I was told a lot of things when I got here. Danny, mind your business. Stay out of gossip and drama. Stay in your own lane. Do that for 6 months. And in 6 months, get a service commitment and give back. And that way you can get some business. And it started the process of me getting into service. And I can't thank the people. It's about the people, always about the people here for me. The fellowship and I struggle because I have a fractured personality and I came in twisted, battered, broken, and bruised. And it was nothing outside of me that was twisted, battered, broken, and bruised. My ego was shattered. But you guys told me the truth, like, Danny, you're gonna die. You keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna die. Just to give you a little brief history, I was shot in the head, I was stabbed, I was incarcerated, I was left dead, I was left beaten. I'm the third tradition guy in the basic text. I'm prayed over, counseled with, reason with. I didn't want to stop using until I came in. I was able to say, yeah, me too. I heard horrific stories when I got here, and I never compared. I always said, wow, there's people just like me out there. I didn't come in here rehearsal audition because of this place, I'm able to tell a story that's true. And I would always used to call my sponsor, what do I do? What do I say? He would tell me two things, really simple stuff. Danny, tell the truth and be honest. And that's it. They're real simple stuff. And I have a new sponsor, and he's a good guy. And sponsorship is not meant for everyone. I'm here to tell you that everyone's not sponsorship material. That's not a judgment. That's a general statement. I'm categorizing. Individual responsibility is not the purpose of sponsorship. I have a guy who says, "Yeah, me too. I have the same disease. This is how I act on it." And I love narcotics, and I can't give this program enough credit. Which it's about grace at the end. If I got everything I thought about I deserved, I wouldn't be here. Listen, I have an eye that goes this way, and eye that goes this way. So if you're standing at me in person, you don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Not many people say me too when I share them. I was ravaged by the disease of addiction way before I picked up a drug. I'm talking about that euphoric feeling I felt as a young child when I started to put my hands on myself. And then other men started to put their hands on me. I'm doing the like fourth step stuff in the abuse section. I told us about we might want to put this part of our inventory off until later on. This is the most painful part of our recovery we'll ever experience. And they weren't lying. I'm here to tell you I'm a 12-step guy. I only come to this fellowship. I believe in this. I learned how to dance here just a little bit, not the 1, 2, 3 shuffle, the cha cha cha. I learned to do the 12 steps, man, in a ballroom, in a meeting room. I learned here. I learned a lot of things. Our program is basic. We have a basic text, not a big book. We don't do that. Our book is basic. And I read for many, many years. I still pick up my basic text every single day. It's ravaged just like my spirit, but everything, the pages are falling out. It's glued together, the blood, sweat, and tears, taped, stitched, glued. I always used to think my life was falling apart because I read it. It's falling apart, but my mind was so open. Because there's so many things that are written in that book that saved me too. Jimmy K wrote in 1965, We Do Recover. It wasn't published until 1983. This is not a history lesson, not the apparent symptom, but a deeper level of emotion and feeling where empathy becomes a healing therapy for all addicted people. Nowhere else can I go. Why am I here? Because there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. There was a circus that went out of business a few years ago. I don't want to endorse it. I don't want the sixth tradition FBI to come after me or the police. But they went out of business because we're the greatest show on earth. We are. We're all around the world in a worldwide fellowship. Unity, man. Unity has the power to join thousands of members around the world, man. Collectively for one purpose, to help someone else. The 12 step tells me the highest aspiration of the human heart is to help another person. It doesn't say addict. This person. I'm a guy that doesn't know most of the time, but I know if I keep coming, more will be revealed. It sounds so cliche, and I never understood that part of the 10 step when it talks about often when we ask an old timer a question, we'd be amazed at the simplicity of the answer. And I never want to have a status here. There's no class for NA membership, guys. I'm sorry. I don't direct the message at one person. This message is through my correlation through this little 6-inch device we call a fucking pen. I read, I write, I pray, I exercise my thoughts, I extra fries my stomach, and I learned how to have fun here with members, with Me Too people. What a beautiful place to listen. There's so many. God is not a vending machine. He's easily accessed through my application of go to him and Me Too, and I make a decision quietly every single day. I don't want to get high today, but most importantly, I don't want to hurt anybody. Listen, I just came from my home group and I was falling asleep by the person who was speaking, but I know not to judge. I sat still long enough in the meeting to know that not to shoot the messenger, but to sit still long enough that maybe something will creep into my spirit and something will leak through. It was the white key tag. It was the white key tag, man. I had a desire not to use when I got here. My sponsor became my sponsor. He said, Dan, we waited for you to come back. We knew you would come back. And I'm sorry you went through a devastating experience, what we call a relapse. But I never really relapsed. I celebrated 1 year from 1999 to 2005 to 2006, 5 times. 5 times. I didn't really get it. But who really gets it? Nobody. I'm here to tell you that each one of us gives it. Get recovery. You can't get this at a department store, the dollar store, the Chinese food restaurant. I'm sorry. Can't get it anywhere. I can't keep what I have unless I give it away. And sometimes I don't think I have anything to give, but I keep coming back. I have a lot of information, the same information that everybody's open-minded about. God consciousness, man. There's a piece in Who's an Addict? And the very same paragraph is in the last chapter. Higher mental and emotional functions such as love and conscience were sharply affected by my drug use. Listen, I don't have anything to blame anymore, especially the drugs, for me not wanting to love people today. And it's just a difficult word for me to experience. I'm closed to it, really closed it's an intimate approach to what God offers me. I don't use the word friend a lot either. I use the word trust. I trust you. I trust you in my life. I'm in the care of a lot of things, not just God's grace, but the group who allowed to sponsor me. Each time I sit down in a meeting, I'm burning up and I have a burn desire, but I really want to share about the things I should be sharing about until I hear people tell my story. I haven't shared in my home group in months because people are diversely connected, man. We're a culturally diverse group. It's been in the same building for 40 plus years, and members from all over New York come. We sit down and we talk. We have coffee, bagels, and I don't feel like I have to fear there. I leave there spiritually refreshed and glad to be alive. It says that 12 in a 12-step twice. I'm a it says guy, right? If you've noticed. Love my home group, man. Just get a home. I have one home group. Why? Because our program suggests many members make attendance to support many groups, but most, right? Most of us join one group in particular. I have one group. It's the AMNA group of Narcotics Anonymous in Nassau County. They meet at 10:30 a.m. every Saturday morning, and my commitment is to key tags. I get to give hugs, not drugs. I come up, I give out the key tags, and I'm a clown. Listen, man, I remember being a kid, and I was always silly. 40 something years ago, always silly, always cracking jokes, always making fun and laughing, really, really belly laughing. I have friends here now who I belly laugh with. Most of the time, I'm insulting a lot of things. I'm not going to expose what that really is. That's okay. That's not an outside issue. It's just not appropriate for this format and this forum. But I laugh here. Challenge everybody to read the last page in 11 step and it'll sound why. It moves me every time I read it. I'm going to share it. I want to, but I found great joy and beauty in my surroundings. The ability to live with dignity, to live, to laugh, to love. It's the very essence of God's will for me. And I couldn't be more thrilled to be a member of this place. I remember being associated with some really bad people. And I no longer have to be a part of that life because I never really was. My mother raised a good kid, and I could walk away from anything I choose to. Those people don't save me to. I didn't buy into that lifestyle. I come in here and I buy into what the fifth tradition tells me: establish a drug-free lifestyle and a new way to live. Like living clean tells me to think my way into a new way of living, not live my way into a new way of thinking, and maybe vice versa. But it sounded good in my spirit, and I knew to paraphrase it. But I don't have much time to go through the books in the library. I challenge you to do what I do, and most of the times I don't think I'm getting any better. So I need to come to the meeting. This is for me to think I'm the craziest person in the meeting, not the craziest person looking person, because sometimes I still look like I'm using, and that's okay. Sometimes I come in real insane, and I remember my first meeting. I remember like it was yesterday. It was January 5th, 2001. It was in either the midday group or the Hell's Kitchen group, and it was on Friday night and my sponsor on the way from the therapeutic community that I was court mandated to. He said, I'm your sponsor. You're going to do what I say. Because you have 2 months more than me. You have a 13 months clean. You're going to sponsor me. I said, what's a sponsor? He said, come to the meeting with me. I said, let's go. We walk through Bryant Park. We walk through Times Square. We go up to the Hell's Kitchen. It's only a few blocks away, maybe 6 blocks. And no, about 10 blocks. It's on 48th Street and 10th Avenue. And I go down to this basement and I get greeted with a hug. I smelt this familiar smell. It was cold. I smelled really strong rocket fuel coffee, really strong. People were laughing and chatting. It was really loud. And he hugged me. He said, learn to listen and listen to learn. Sit in the front row. I have a year clean today. He's like, listen, what you know about recovery almost got you killed. Keep coming. I remember this is 24 years ago, and I still remember it because I was both captivated and intimidated when I got here. I wanted what you guys had. Lost dreams away. We talk about that. We talk about inside. For me, it's an inside job. I have stuff, the materialistic stuff, but it doesn't impress me from where that frightened, devious Laura and the fear have left my face. That's such a dream for me. Like a remarkable thing happens when I prayed. That's a promise here. I'm gonna tell you another promise. It's hidden. It's not a secret, but it's written. Jimmy wrote. What does it say? It says, "When the drugs go and the act works this program, wonderful things happen." A lot of wonderful things happen, and a lot of bad things happen as a direct result of my unmanageability, poor dieting. Like my liver shut down in 2005, and the drugs stopped working. I couldn't beg, borrow, steal, or rob anybody anymore. My grandmother died 15 times already, and I've told that story 100 times. And I was 30 years old when I came back from this experience, and I'll get this baby. He hugged me. He held me so close, this old timer. Felt his heartbeat, like really creepy hold, and the 10 seconds plus is like just too much. And He told me to sit down in the front row and to sit in the emergency room in the ICU section of the meeting, and I did. My sponsor told me, he said, when they give out the key tags, get up and get a glow in the dark key tag. He said, Danny, I won't activate it unless you put it to a light. I said, okay. He said, it's a lot like you. You won't activate it unless you go to the light, from the twilight to the sunlight. And I did this, and the speaker, she was a female from the Bronx who was shot in the head, who had an uncontrollable drug habit. The Me Too process set in. She said when she smoked a specific substance that she would hallucinate, that she was delusional, she was seeing things that weren't there. And then she said, and I was about to leave because it wasn't my story yet, that substance. Yet you're eligible to. And I remember her saying, I have the disease of addiction. It's chronic and it's not going anywhere. I got up and I left. I heard one word. I heard this word disease. I didn't want what you guys had. I thought it was going to grow on me. I thought it was a cancer. I thought it was a plague. I thought it was something other than a spiritual disease, like something that was affecting my personality, something that was affecting my emotions, something that was effective. I just didn't know it was invisible. Right? It's something prone to obsession and compulsion in every area of my life, and I didn't know. Like I was an addict, and I didn't know when I got here. And I was 24, had a mustache, I looked crazy, and I used 1 year recovery house, homeless shelters, crisis centers, recovery houses, and there's a guy. He says grown men don't sleep in twin beds. I'm tall when I stand, and the twin bed, my legs hang off, and it's uncomfortable. And I did that many times. In a recovery house with 28 guys, 3 floors. I was in a room that was the cleanest room in the mansion, what we called it. It was a penthouse. And a good friend of mine, he was from the Bronx. And rumor is he passed away from our disease. I don't want to believe it. And he had a lot of influence on me, like the impact. I, I understand group autonomy, but there's so many things that run through my head that are positive. Listen, I understand the name of our program, and I never want to forget what brought me here. I don't want to forget that the dope brought me here, that the dope brought me to my knees, that everything fits in a fucking pipe, everything, the job, the many girlfriends, the unfiltered relationships, the unconditional friendships that I've gained here. Everything fits in the stem. Everything fits in everything, and I remember just giving it away. I never really got with the program when I got here. From 24 to 30, and then I was ravaged. The devastating experience happened, and I'm here to tell you that my liver shut down again 2 years ago. It was from unmanageability. I had an inch and a quarter of my liver removed, and my gallbladder removed, my intestines rearranged. And in February of 2023, I woke up during a procedure like the anesthesia. I'm open about everything, right? And I would suggest that we go see a doctor when we get here to get a checkup from the neck up, go get a physical new cover. It's important. And I did that. And I continue to do that. And I continue to let that suggestion flourish in my life because I have no choice. I want to survive today. I want to live tomorrow. I want to be able to tell the next person, listen, I can do it, and so can you. I went through a lot of stuff clean, and we don't always have to go through it because I went through a lot of stuff that other newcomers don't have to go. And we talk about newcomers. This is not an age thing. It's not you're a newcomer when you're 20 years old to 30 years old. I believe you're a newcomer for 2 reasons. When you get a black heat tag, you're not graduate. When I've been exposed to the message of recovery and I really truly listen with an open mind, I'm no longer a newcomer. I can't deny, I can't blame things anymore. I'm not gonna blame this member for sounding good or for insulting my punk feelings. Because I came in here emotional, volatile. I was violent. I was internally controversial when I got here. And members told me, Danny, you're looking at your mirror image. Big, tall Jewish guy. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, you're me and I'm you. We're just different sizes. This guy's like 85 years old today. This is his birthday. What a way to celebrate. And I just remember the people who influenced me to say me too. Because they said me too to me with my emotions and how my life was so unmanageable. I'm here to tell you that the disease shifts my manageability. I need to check my foundation for shifts and cracks. And I'm in the construction business, so it sounded really, really good to put the first two steps onto sand, put three onto gravel, and it's out the building process through 4 through 9. It sounds like a fucking parable, but it's really not. I'm really creative to my own personal autonomy. And I know that cockiness is a red light indicator. I don't see any time, or let me know how much time I have left. I like the sound of my own voice.
Got 1 minute.
That's it already. It flew by. Check that out.
Did.
My mouth is starting to get dry. That's why I'm really happy that I'm just a happy guy today. And sometimes it doesn't have to be explained. It's just a feeling that needs to be felt. And I can't. I've still come from meetings so that I can learn to sit still long enough to know that every thought can go in and exit and die a natural death. Talk about the maintenance part of the program. And I'm not just in 10, 11, and 12 every day. Listen, newcomer, the first step isn't the only step you got to get right. Not using drugs were the answer when I got here. They weren't the problem. It's when they stopped working and I saw the ugly side of addiction. Like the ugly side of addiction was horrible. I put my hands on a lot of people. A lot of people, man. I miss my mother. She stood up in the courtroom before I hugged that guy in Hell's Kitchen. She said, my son doesn't need jail. He needs help. Had blood from head to toe, and it wasn't mine. I don't know how I got there. So many substances, and I love narcotics. And I was just getting excited. I really was just about to get started, but I respect the time, and I'm not a fucking timer bully. And I really want to apologize publicly for using profanity. I never want to forget who I'm really in the room with, right? Ex-cons, predicate felons, drug users, junkies, like bottom of the barrel, considered losers to the stigma of society. When we talk about our winnings, right? I won here, but the game ain't over. The coast ain't clear, man. And the war is not over. The battle began when I put up a white flag and I said, yeah, I don't want to do this no more, disease. You win. I have a loving God that I serve today, and I'm able to practice these principles in all my affairs. And when I can't practice these principles in all my affairs, there's one thing I can do. I can change my affairs. I want to thank the Hope Dealer service team for asking me to come and share my experience or whatever came out of my mouth. I just know I don't come in here rehearsed or audition for the Oscars or the Academies. I don't roll out the red carpet for Danny the Book from Nassau County. I'm happy for my membership at the end of the day. And I know there's 11 hours left to hurt somebody's feelings, and I'm going to try not to do that. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you so much for